Hello, and welcome to today's podcast at Pediatric Center here at Lenny. I'm Dr. Michalis Yaliredis, developmental pediatrician currently practicing in Australia, Cyprus, and the UK. I've trained as a general pediatrician back in the UK. I graduated in Manchester in 2001, and I did all my training in general pediatrics in Manchester and Nottingham. For the past 10 years, I've been working as general and community pediatrician in regional Queensland, and I've developed an interest and an expertise in development of pediatrics. Thank you for joining me, especially today on Autism Awareness Day, a time to raise awareness, understanding, and acceptance of children and individuals in the autism spectrum. Now, let's begin by talking what autism is. Autism is a spectrum disorder, or ASD. It's a developmental condition that affects how a child communicates, interacts socially, and processes or understand the world around them. It can look very different from one child to another. This is why we call it a spectrum, asthma, or spectra. Before anything else, I want to address something important. The language we use when we talk about autism, the word disorder, for example, in the diagnosis, can be unhelpful and even damaging. It implies that something is broken or wrong, but that's not what autism is. Autism is a difference on how the brain develops and functions. It's not a disease, and it's certainly not something to be fixed. The diagnosis of autism should never define who a child is or limit or who they can become. It is not a label to carry or a reason to expect less. Rather, it's a pathway to support, a tool that helps us doctors, therapists, educators, parents understand a child's needs and how we can best help them. It is also not an excuse for poor behavior, but it can help explain why a child behaves in a certain way and give us guidance on how to respond with empathy, structure, and care. Let's work together to eliminate both the word disorder from the diagnosis and the stigma. Autism is not something to be hidden. It is something to be understood, supported, and embraced. Now, let's talk about the spectrum itself. Autism presents in many different ways. Some children may be verbal, others completely non-verbal. Some might need a great deal of support. Others may be quite independent and may still face challenges in social or sensory situations. That's why we call it a spectrum, because it's not one fixed profile. It's wide and varied range of ways that children think, feel, and interact with the world. These are not deficits, they are different abilities. And when we understand and embrace this diversity, we become better supporters, parents, educators, and professionals. Support is key, and the earlier we begin, the more impact we can make. This is the primary role of the developmental pediatrician, starting from the personal doctor, GP, making recommendations to see therapists, as well as pursue further assessments for diagnosis. Children on the spectrum may need help with language and communication, peer interaction, friendships, emotional regulation, sensory issues, self-care, and independence. Early intervention usually includes speech and occupational therapy, as well as parental support and coaching, but most importantly, daycare and school accommodations and adjustments. As children grow, psychology and emotional support may become more relevant, alongside with ongoing adjustments at school and at home. Every child's plan should be tailored and individualized because every child is unique. This is where, again, a developmental pediatrician can be a great resource, working closely with other disciplines and therapists and schools to help each child achieve their full potential. If you want to learn more, recommend a short autism awareness video developed by Professor Tony Atwood at the team of Queensland University. It's a simple and thoughtful introduction to understanding autism. Please see the link in the intro and comments below. If you have concerns about your child's development, or you would like to know more about how to progress with further developmental assessments, please visit our website www.agialearning.org, or feel free to call me on 951950007. These podcast sessions will run hopefully weekly, offering practical tips, updates, and supports for families and carers, professionals on developmental issues in childhood. Thank you again for being here. This Autism Awareness Day, let's remember, autism is not a disorder. It's a different way of experiencing the world. Every child is different. Every child is unique. And every child deserves the right support to thrive. Until next time, take care and stay safe.